We're going to talk about the legalities of collisions. Some people call them accidents.
Yep, either. There's lots of words.
Accidents, collisions,
Car
crashes, car wrecks,
Yeah.
what have you. So what do you want to discuss? Do you want to discuss the responsibility for such incidents?
Well, one question that I get that I think would be helpful is just sort of what avenues are there when you've been in a car accident?
Either if it's your fault or not.
Well, assuming, yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's go first of all with if you are at fault. If you hit someone from behind, by the way, you're always at fault if you hit someone from behind. It doesn't matter. But what happens in that case?
You have to notify your insurance company.
You should do that as quickly as you can.
Yeah, and even if you think it's no big deal and you think there's not going to be a claim, you can jeopardize your coverage if you don't notify your own insurer.
Because claims can come in later after
Absolutely,
the fact.
absolutely. At the scene, many people don't feel their injuries, especially if it's a whiplash type injury.
Right.
So the person you hit might stand up, might seem fine,
Yeah.
and within about 72 hours, they're flat on their backs.
They could be concussed.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you don't know that right off the bat.
And, yeah. And some people, in many cases, come up with an injury later on. That's happened before, too.
Well, I've never seen that happen.
So, what if you're actually the recipient of a collision? If you let's use the hitting from behind, for example, which is a common
Yeah.
collision. What if you're on the receiving end of that?
Well, if at all possible, you want to make sure the police come to the scene. That's a big mistake that people make, is they're embarrassed, they want to get it over with, they have to get somewhere, they want to go to the doctor, so they agree not to call the police.
You should never do that?
You should never do that. I mean, sometimes the police are busy and they'll tell you they can't come.
Yeah, but sometimes, Brenda, little collisions don't warrant a police visit in my book, you know what I mean, in my head.
Well, the police want you to call them if there is significant property damage to the car or any kind of injury. So if you're feeling stiff, you have a right to have the police attend. If you're feeling any pangs, you have the right to have the police attend.
Right.
And it can create all kinds of problems for you later if the police don't come.
Yeah. What about, there seems to be a common misconception about if in fact there's a collision, and again, we'll use the example of someone gets hit from behind, because it seems to be the most common thing. If there is in fact a collision and nobody is injured,
Yes.
can you move the cars off the road and wait for the police?
Yes.
It's okay to do that.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times people will sit there and be it a minor fender bender, what have you, and nobody's injured. They'll sit right in the middle of traffic thinking they have to wait for the police to arrive.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're really worried that there's something contentious about how the accident happened, you might be smart.
Yeah.
The smarter thing to do, though, is get out, take your cell phone, take a bunch of pictures,
and then
move the car.
If your car is movable and all.
Yeah, that's right, if it's safe to get it out of the way.
Yeah, because sometimes it's not safe, and that's what I mean. It's not safe to be stuck sitting there in the middle of the road.
Right, and standing out.
Sometimes people stand right by their cars.
Absolutely. Lots of pedestrians are killed standing outside their car or going to help somebody who's been in an accident. In the highway at night, people get killed every year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're either helping somebody out, or you're right, they're waiting for the tow truck or the police or what have you.
Right. So that's kind of the basics at the scene. You know, try, if you're the person who potentially will have a claim, try and document as much as you can what happened. If there's witnesses, try to get their names and contact information.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
In this age of, you know, the technology available to us, be it pictures, cameras on our phones, or even little video cameras. I mean, we have the flip video camera, that little thing we were
I have
last
one.
week. Do you have one
Yeah,
of those?
I love it.
They're fabulous.
Yeah, and they're not expensive.
No, they're what, $100 or something?
Maybe somewhere between 100 and 2. Yeah.
If you have one of those with you and you take video of the scene or pictures of the scene, either from either perspective, either you're at fault or you're not.
Sure.
It sure can protect you down the road.
Absolutely.
In case. Right?
Very important.
Yeah.
And then dealing with the insurance companies, the next thing. Yeah, and that's the big confusion.
Yeah.